All right, everyone. Hey, what's up? DayTraderRockStar here, and again, I'm going to record this video here live with you guys. About 8 o'clock this morning, we're putting out the morning watch list for Friday, February 25th. Seeing the futures up nicely. Nasdaq futures up 17. Dow futures up close to 70, which I was looking. We're actually pulling back a little. We were actually up around 74 before I came into the office here. Now we're down. Dow futures up about 60. Some good movers, pre-market movers. We got FFIV up, which was a nice setup for today. Decker on earnings, DECK, CRM, Salesforce.com up nicely, up 13, 14 points right now. And we got some other things, Boeing, some other stocks starting to move and groove here. Priceline continuing to look good. MasterCard, Apple also holding up pretty close to $2. But there's some stocks that are setting up going into next week. Even though it's for Friday, I want to bring these stocks to your attention. Some of them look really good. Citigroup being the first one. And you can actually see, I haven't looked at Citigroup in such a long time. But you can see there's a definite underlying channel line here. And that's something that's caught my interest. I'm probably not going to trade Citigroup. Just want to bring it to your attention. So I'm going to pass on the Citigroup, but there is a nice channel there. Intel, continue to like Intel in the larger inverted head and shoulders pattern. So this pullback here looks really, really nice. We had a nice bounce yesterday. I don't expect too much more of a pullback. Again, not the best setup, but something I do like going forward. Procter & Gamble here, a beautiful pullback to the lower trend line. This looks interesting, but there was a serious selling yesterday, even in the market rally. We didn't really get much of a bounce. We did get a bounce right off of that 200-period moving average and pretty much closed above the trend line, which we see happen a lot when we talk about trend lines and how a stock will spike down underneath that trend line and then reverse and close back above the trend line, leaving that long tail. And you'll see that in some cases on stocks, all in patterns here. Here's a piece of that here. All right. So Procter & Gamble is definitely something because we have a gap up here. There's something that's far, as we pull away from that gap and pull back down into this level, it's going to get interesting for us on Procter & Gamble. Same thing with 3M, quality stock. We looked at this one yesterday as it was pulling back. I said pay attention to that upward trend line. We came down right to the trend line, kind of bounced off of it. I would rather see this consolidate and move sideways into this trend line. Wait for the stochastics to pull back and get a bounce up. So this one's definitely on the buy list. It's just a matter of maybe waiting one more day. We'll see how the market moves today too. Dow futures up 74 now, and this is exactly what we expected today. So now let's get into some interesting ones. I think you're going to be happy with these couple stocks. All right. Let's take a look at this. MRK. Let's take a look at Merck here. Merck and Company. Now I'm not the biggest drugs manufacturer, biotech, and pharmaceutical stock trader. I do think there's a higher risk in these setups than the average stock, but I do appreciate buying into weakness, and this one's just about set up. We do have a back down here in May, like kind of a bottom down here in this 30.31 area, and we're trading at 32.03. So we have a dollar range here. It doesn't give us a much, it's 32 here and a move back up to 34 only gives us 2 points, and it's not big, but there's definitely something here I like. There's a little candlestick from yesterday. We are pulling back off the lower portion of this so-called channel line. If we can start to develop one here, all right. So everything looking very good on Merck. I think there's a good risk reward setting up on Merck. Target TGT was one of the best bets of yesterday, and this was an alert that went out, and we're going to look for some follow-through on this today and probably sell into it. There is definitely a channel line. We could probably if we could get up to that 52. I definitely see us getting back up to that 52.40 and watch the 52.40 that recent high up here, and then try to get us a little bit higher. But target definitely is going to be a longer term trade if you want to hold on to it. It'll probably eventually break out and start moving up. It was some really good news out there. The stochastics just crossed over. I do have a first target was 5150, so that was blown right through. All right, now let's take a look. Here's Goldman Sachs, GS. Now, what's great about Goldman Sachs is you start to see what I look for in a stock. I want to see 3 pivot areas. Pivot areas meaning 3 areas where we change direction in a stock. All right, we have one here, we have one here, and we have one which gets a little cloudy, but we're going to call it at a top in this area, and then we're not really even going to count this gap here. So I want to take that. Trend line. I want to drop it down off of this level, and then I'm going to take a parallel line, and we're going to drop it down here. And what we do is we have a nice little channel. All right, stochastics are pulling back. Everything setting up great, which means that we could easily tear this stock up if we do get a move down here to the 200 period moving average. Do we get a move down there? I'm not exactly 100% sure on that. I love to have the multiple indicator set up. This tells me that if it does pull back down to this level, it's like a cash machine. You have to take that trade. A stock like this will tell you exactly where and when to buy. All right. Anytime in between that, you take a little more risk on the table. But once you start to establish that 1, 2, 3 area, and you start, when you get a fourth test of a trend line or a fourth part of the puzzle, you got to take that down. The stochastic's looking pretty good, pulling back really, really fast. So I tend to believe that we'll probably end up going to hold this recent low and start to work off of this. Now here comes some of the better setups for today. AMGN. Nice pullback. Multiple bottom playing out here on multiple bottom. Now again, we had a nice candlestick. We had a nice quad stochastic indicator. Showed a lot of weakness recently. What I would guess here, I would expect, and I would love to see a breakdown here. And that breakdown, a flush here. And at one point, there's two scenarios here. We're going to hold this level as we recently held, or we're going to flush out here. We're going to get a nice candlestick down like we did over here. And then we're going to get a reversal, and we're going to close back above that. So if we do get some weakness into this stock today, which I'm hoping for, this is AMGN, I'm going to be buying. All right, I'm going to start my position, and I would buy into that type of weakness. We already got a hammer down, and I would love to see this thing collapse and puke, because that would probably capitulate. We'll probably have some decent reversal volume. We'll flush down. We're not exactly to tell you where we're going to flush down to, but I would like to see that flush start to scale in small, and then watch the reversal candlestick form as that forms. Then you feel more confident adding to your position at the end of the day going into Monday. So AMGN really does look set up here. And there's one more here which looks just as good, and this is Teva Pharmaceutical. Now Teva, excuse me, Paulson and Company took added to their stake in Teva, which whenever you get a good investment firm, that ends up doing their research, probably has better. I'm not to say that they're going to do better research than us, but they have better tools, to get the meetings and stuff. And if they see value in certain companies and they add to their stake and stuff, usually it's a good sign. Now, what we can do is continue to follow that, and if that happens to give us another opportunity, like I like the Teva here. First time I've been really liking it. So it had a gap down, pulled back, bounced. This is the first real pullback. We pulled back to the trend line. There's really an established channel, and there's an established stochastic, call it stochastic here. So this is probably one of the best bets for me going forward. And if I'm going to call best bet today, I do like the Teva Pharmaceutical today as a best bet. BMY, and again, you can know some of these some of these stocks are setting up here. BMY, Bristol Myers Squibb. We said that we're going to see what happens here. We're in the middle point of this channel. If we get a pullback to this level, we want to be all over it. The stochastics, and this was mapped out a while ago. Apparently, this is when I put these watch lists out. We wait until these setups, because if this did pull back to this level, it would be great. It's still in this tight consolidation. So there's definitely a shot of a break up here, and if that happened, I think there's two situations here. You have a move up or a move down. It's getting tighter. In either case, you're looking at a buy here. Starts to break out to the upside, you're going to start really, we get a crossover. You definitely could see that break to the upside also. It's a little tighter. EMC, rock hard stock. Don't believe we're going to get too much more of a pullback. We held a 20-period moving average. It's a great stock to be in if you just want to take advantage of a pullback. All right, because that one, VMware, is kind of the big brother of that company. Or I should say the little brother or the little sister, but EMC has a big stake in VMware. And what do we see here is possibly, and this is two scenarios here, possibly a channel line here based on 1, 2, 3. I think even the quality of stock might even consider, I might even look at a kind of a wedge pattern starting to form out here. It hasn't been proven yet, so we really want to start to look at this one in a couple different ways. This is VMware. Rather get it down here off the 200-period moving average. That would be my number one area to buy. I probably miss it if it breaks up, but any type of pullback on this stock, it looks good. Oh, Teva Pharmaceuticals is a well-known company. Teva, as a couple people mentioned in the chat room there. So EMC. All right, here's another one. Again, I have, like I said, did some research last night. Now, and again, another sector that I don't trade that much, but one of the biggest mining companies out there, Newmont Mining. And when you talk about best of breed, that's what you worry about. I'm more concerned about getting the best of breed. If I'm going to get into a miner, I want to get into the best miner. I want to get into one of the best of breed miners, or one of the largest market cap. And let's see what happens here. Again, I just want to keep this on the watch list, just in case we get a follow through pullback down to this lower trend line. And do believe gold was traded off this morning, and hence we might see some of the gold miners actually, or the mining stocks actually pull back too. So we want to watch this level. Oil's down right now 19 cents. Nasdaq futures up 17 and a quarter, and NEM there. And I think EXC is that last one I want to look at. Now we're going to Exelon. All right. This is something also I'm looking at. Exelon, EXC. All right, EXC. And you can definitely feel the pullback. What I like here, really keen on this coil stochastic indicator once again. That's setting up. Now, there's a lot of setups that we took yesterday. They're going to play out really well at the FFIV all the way up to 121. Some other ones, I'll watch the SYY, the staples. I want to see this break through 21, which is also good. But that's about it for now. This is my focus list for today. Again, going out, I would say one of the best bets. Let me see. Probably Teva Pharmaceuticals, one of the best bets for me right now. Today, TEVA, Goldman Sachs looks interesting, and AMGN also looks interesting. All right, I hope you enjoyed that early morning watch list. We'll get back live on the radio with you right now.